I absolutely think every time you say no to having your face scanned by TSA, it's actually a vote for biometric consent. So many people don't even know you have a right to opt out.
So when people are thinking, local police are using facial recognition technology, or I'm walking through, the airport and TSA wants to take my picture, we know that there is a tendency in human behavior to comply. We don't want to stand out. We don't want to get in trouble. And so part of what you were saying is people have to strike this balance between, you know, compliance, but also risk. And that there's a risk that they won't be seen as they are, that they will be unfairly targeted. So I want to talk to you about two pieces to that. One is, can you tell us where this technology is being used where we may not know it? And as a part of that, how do you move through the world knowing what the risks really are and knowing how you had to push through that instinct towards compliance to move to resistance?
Oh, those are such great questions. I mean, in terms of areas AI is being used that you might not see, because one of the things with the initial work of the Algorithmic Justice League, we start with your face. We start with the white mask. It's in your face, literally. But then there are the algorithmic gatekeepers you don't see. The algorithms that determine if you get a kidney or not, a kidney transplant or not, right? You have the algorithms determining who's hired or fired, algorithms filtering out resumes. Amazon had to shut down an internal recruiting algorithm because they kept seeing that resumes with women's colleges were being downgraded, right? But maybe if you played lacrosse, that was a bonus because why? Data is destiny. They trained on the data of who had performed well and had other signals that weren't just about your ability to perform the job, but how much you fit those who had the role before. And so those are some of, I think even it can be a bit more insidious because you can't see it at work. And so that's why it's even more important to resist these systems that are harmful where you can see it. So one place you can see it is at the airport, at the TSA checkpoints. So for domestic flights, this is supposed to be a pilot. But to your point, when a TSA officer says, step up, you step up generally, right? And then not only do you have that power dynamic going on, you have people behind you, social pressure. I don't know what time you got to the airport, but you might have some time pressure as well. Financial pressure, these tickets aren't cheap. You know, so by the time you're going through all of this, right, is this your moment to resist, or do you just comply so you can try to fly? And it can be difficult to make that choice. And sometimes people ask, well, if I haven't complied in the past, is it too late? I absolutely think every time you say no to having your face scanned by TSA, it's actually a vote for biometric consent. And why I say this is so many people don't even know you have a right to opt out because of the way it's been implemented. Step up next, step up next. And it's requiring you to go against the typical process, right? And so it's making it even less likely. And I also understand, I just recently went through TSA. I had this viral moment where my hair was being inspected down to the scalp. It wasn't just, we're going to pat you down. We're going to become an esthetician and see if you have flakes in your scalp or that kind of thing. And so I personally experienced what it is to be singled out and feel harassed in these sorts of situations. So I completely understand when people say, for where I am right now, it feels too precarious. Like there's no judgment on that. But I also feel others who have that sense that this is something I can do. Maybe you are in a position of more privilege. And in some ways, because of the work that I do with the Algorithmic Justice League, that's why I got a direct apology from TSA. Sorry, Dr. Buolamwini, about your recent experiences, right? Had I been a general traveler, would that have happened?
Right.
So in some ways, I do think if you feel you're in a more privileged position, right, it's even more of an imperative, right, to opt out for those who have been robbed of that choice, or even your former self robbed of that choice. And then the government doesn't have the best track record for biometric data. There have been leaks, right? There have been stolen. So even if you're like, solidarity is nice, but just for your own peace of mind, you don't actually know where all of that data is going. And they might say, we've deleted the photo. This gets interesting. This is where I put on my tech hat. You've deleted the photo, but you might have other information you got from the photo before it was deleted. So just like you have a fingerprint, you can also have a face print. They haven't been clear about what they're doing with the face prints, right? So they can truthfully say they've deleted the image, but it doesn't mean they've deleted all of the data associated with it as well. And that data can be compromised.
Facial recognition block. We're here to make a plan. Can't nobody stop. Everyone turn on your facial recognition block. We're here to make a plan. Can't nobody stop. Everyone turn on your facial recognition block. We're here to make a plan.